Game here, you saw the Breeze throw off the opening pool, and the Empire going to start this game on offense.
Looks like John Wodach centered to Sean Keegan. They play a little catch between the two of them.
Before looking upfield, finding number 7, Taylor Brooks. Taylor Brooks kicks it back to Keegan. A lot of swings in this early game, kind of trying to find their upfield opportunity.
Yeah, the Empire attacking both sides of the field right now.
Keegan finds Aloro. Aloro, last time we saw these Empire playing a much bigger role in the backfield. Now he's coming out of the stack. A little bit of a shift there for him, maybe. And wow, a huge layout for us here with the hour rain delay.
So Bob Lou picks up, kicks it up to Markham Schaffner.
Schaffner looking upfield, finds Helton, nicknamed Goose, wearing the 00.
Goose looking pretty patient out there, finds Wodach.
Wodach with the under, and Lou again in the backfield. Lou to Kerrigan.
Nice offensive spacing here in the early goings for the Breeze. They're getting some pretty wide open unders.
Kerrigan finds Cranston. And Cranston up line finds Goose, starts on the near sideline. And rundown of the sport of Ultimate for anyone new to the sport today. And it is a game that's played on a full-size Frisbee field, at least in this professional incarnation of the game. It's played 7-on-7, and it has a stall count, meaning you can only hold on to the disc at a time for 7 seconds. So you see these New York Empire players at this point, when 7 seconds run out, you might see a big fly like this one. And the Breeze are all over it.
From Tyler, no, it's David Cranston with the grab there.
Cranston goes deep and rips it out of the air. And the Breeze are going to take over on offense here, seeing if their defensive line can have some offensive proficiency.
That was a nice double coverage there from Cranston and Nicky Spiva, both getting up to put the defensive pressure on that ball.
Here's Matsuka now with the disc, looks upfield. Oh, and he overshoots his target a little bit, the laying out Andrew Allen.
Tough.
Unfortunate there, but it's going to go back in the hands of the Empire.
Tough outside into the inside out space there for Allen to corral.
And the Empire pick up. It's number 3, Aloro now, playing that handler role that I expected to see out of him a little bit more, a little give and go.
And they're looking off cuts that are coming from number 10, Kuzmowicz.
Keegan finds a space upfield. And Keegan going deep, intended target here. Number 16, but it is his brother Ryan that's leading the scoreboard at 31. The Breeze take over now, and we've got Neely with the disc, finding Bob Lou easily in the middle. And one more to Tyler Monroe. Monroe upfield now to Markham Schaffner. Schaffner back to Monroe. Lots of under options. He chooses Helton. A little dance from Kerrigan before he receives the disc and back outside to Monroe.
That's a nice job.
And Kerrigan now in the middle.
It was a nice job of Kerrigan to sit in that space as his defender kind of held back and helped.
And Neely takes a shot. Monroe's got a beat on it. And it's a huge layout for Tyler Monroe.
Tyler Monroe with an incredible deep cut there and a nicely. Laurel fields the pull.
.31 with the disc now. Taking all the time that he's got before finding Keegan on the near sideline.
Tight space
Keegan
there.
Opting for an upline pass, a nice strike cut, as we call it in Ultimate.
31's Kocher. Kocher is active. He's listed on our sheet as
inactive,
not having been.
But that's a pleasant surprise for the Empire. He's one of the best.
Also for the Breeze.
Also a recent gold winner in London.
Good pressure there from Russell.
Exciting.
He was inactive in the previous meeting against the Breeze for the Empire, and so it's nice to see him on the field now.
Schaffner shooting immediately from the hip. Wodach sprinting and makes an easy catch. Wow.
Looks like Aloro is settling into that handler role that he played in earlier matchups.
Yeah, it looks like him and Kocher are taking a prime role in the backfield as Kuzmowicz, or Cuz, I believe is called. Muck is a nickname of his in the community, fields a disc. Kocher again, looks upfield. And the scooper is the option, finds Aloro.
There's Kocher creating his own space in the handler set.
Yeah, Kocher is really doing well to not allow that stall count to reach a high number. He's always an option in the backfield, and he's showing Kolek a little squirreliness that Kolek can't quite keep up with here.
Kolek, of course, one of a squirrely defender himself, and also a teammate of Kocher's on Team USA.
And they find the end zone for number 15.
Tyler Monroe corrals it, sends it up to Neely. Neely looking under the goose.
Helton now looking upfield. Finds a dancing Wodach who reels it in with a little bit of defensive pressure. Kerrigan now.
Been impressed so far with Kerrigan this game, the way he's able to accelerate at his defender and then decelerate quickly and create separation for the undercut.
Here's Monroe. Really forcing a lot of resets right now, that Empire defense. But the Breeze are threatening inside what I'll call the red zone at the 25-yard line here before Jeff Wodach gets another reset. Monroe around to Kerrigan. And let's do one more round. Monroe, Wodach, Schaffner. Using all the horizontal space. And it looks like a stall is going to go, no, it's a timeout. Stall count was getting high. Coaches intervened. You see,
looks like we got Kolek here tapping it in with Schaffner as his reset.
Yeah,
Neely
taking some opportunity to sub out the players on the timeout. Use a little bit more strategic player substitutions for an advantage here in the professional league. That, of course, does not exist at the amateur level. So no substitutions on timeouts. Kolek again coming out of the stack. Sitting at the 30-yard line. He'll go upfield to Schaffner, longtime teammate. Schaffner shooting. Helton goes up. A lot of contact. Helton with the disc. Empire start off now. Looks like a tandem of Aloro and Keegan in the backfield.
Keegan looks off a very deep cut. But they go for it with another one. Gets it to Kocher. Kocher with an easy score. Being covered by...
The Breeze now with a turn. It's number 6, Healy with the disc. Sorry, Neely. Neely finds Wodach.
Gets it from the top shelf.
Wodach here to Helton. Helton abandons the downfield option before making Neely get a little dirty on the turf, lay out, but possession is retained. Monroe now with a chance.
Yeah, that's a nice possession-saving layout from Neely. That's one of the reasons he's in the backfield, because he's really reliable in there. You put the disc out to the space for him, he's going to make sure that they keep the disc.
Bob Lou hasn't touched the disc a lot, but there he does. A big around backhand before Goose goes full field. Big flick. And Wodach,
the left-handed grab.
All right, what we really need to see out of these teams is some breaks. They both have done it once so far, but that has just knotted up the score. And the Breeze will take their chance and see if they can make it happen on this point.
Nice pressure for McDonald, who gets Spiva to come in for a double team quickly.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't seen a lot of this early game, something that's defined the Breeze play style a lot this year, breaking up the pool play with double teams. Not a lot of it in this young evening.
Nice throw from Aloro down the sideline. There's a laying out Empire player who could not get that disc in his hands. Could not keep it in his hands.
Yeah,
nice
quite a layout by number 7, that's Taylor Brooks, but unable to close his fist around the disc, and the Breeze will have a chance to get that coveted break that I just foretold.
Oh, and they shoot right away. Spiva to Rowan with a player on his back. That's nice defensive pressure.
Double team there, and he's going to get 10 yards out of it. Not an easy man to beat in the air is number 15, Kevin Norton.
That was...
Kevin Norton cues up on the mark. McDonald now fakes before scoobering into the backfield at Spiva. Spiva
Big
goes
hammer.
with a hammer for 45 yards. Fine, Brian. And separation immediately. Nets some space there for Matt Oletta.
Yeah, didn't like to see the double cut though from Aloro and Oletta.
And now it's Kocher with the disc on his own 40 before finding a break into the backfield.
For John Wodach.
John Wodach wearing that single 0, unlike Helton, who opts for the double. Not a lot of single zeros in the East, actually. I think they mostly are double zeros. Certainly in Philadelphia and in DC, the double zeros are sported. And I don't think there's a Canadian player, actually, in the Eastern Division that rocks the null set.
It's a nice break throw from Kocher there. He has 2 break throws on this point alone, creating the offensive flow back to the near sideline, which is really effective for the Empire right now.
Well, Kocher, I think, is really getting the better of this Kolek markup at this point. I mean, always maybe inherently the advantage to the offensive member. Kolek always one step behind, trying to play defense and protect downfield. What do you make of it? Do you think this is a key to the game, if you will?
No, I think Allen's been contesting pretty well, and Kocher's only been able to strike deep once so far for a goal. I think that, although Kocher's a dangerous thrower.
Wow, and a big hammer over the top finds Wodach.
Yeah, a teammate with us in the booth missing her energy at this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, she is supporting some friends at a wedding up in Maine for the weekend, but we do miss her here in the booth.
Oh my goodness, quick turnover there by the Breeze, giving it right back to the Empire, who will now look to break.
It's a big opportunity for the Empire, and a huge layout by Cantone. Does John press him? No, it's Cantone. Cantone rocking 84, unable, just comes up just a little bit short, but a huge impressive air. Number 6, it's Dixon. Looks upfield.
To Drost. Drost goes big to
87, in and out of the fingertips of 87, Jeff Babbitt.
Nice pressure from Helton there. Keeping the disc out of the hands of Babbitt in the end zone.
A lot of contact, but you got to control that on first touch, I think, if you're Babbitt.
I think both of those players like to play through contact a little bit. Babbitt, one of the larger players in the league, using his size to great effectiveness so far and getting a lot of Ds for the Empire.
The Breeze will get a second chance at it. Kerrigan fielding that second chance.
Wodach streaking deep, and Schaffner's going to put it.
Schaffner shooting.
Oh, and Schaffner overthrows the speedy Jeff Wodach. Not something that's easy to do, I can tell you.
Yeah, they've got the field position to try to make it up here, but a turnover again for the Breeze. They're going to need to double down on the defensive effort.
Kerrigan here covering Drost.
Ryan Drost, of course.
I think that's the Drost that Kerrigan was teammates with at Georgetown.
Oh. It's good to see a Georgetown matchup, and a third turn for the Empire in this offensive point. Breeze are going to get another one.
Not entirely sure. It might have been Mike Drost. No.
The drop.
The teammate at Georgetown.
I myself have been up in New York a lot recently and have graced the Breeze here, trying to maximize the first quarter. They'll get offensive possession at the beginning of the second quarter, so a big one here if they can make it happen.
And not a hammer, but a blading backhand that goes in the end zone. There's an opportunity here. Kerrigan gets up, but the Empire are able to knock down that disc, making sure that the Breeze are not able to take a lead here as finding your point as much as possible throughout the rest of this game.
As the Empire offense and rather the Empire defense will try to obstruct the Breeze on this here point.
Well, that's usually my line, Greg.
You're usually the one with all the reusing my own vocabulary against me, but I'll take a shot here. Kerrigan,
my goodness, Matthew Kerrigan.
And keeps possession of the disc, very artfully done. Here's Bowen Colchin now, Duke, as he's called, the nickname, of course.
Neely finds Goose on the sideline.
And Goose shooting once again.
Helton.
Monroe the target, but Drost picks up one of those Ds he's so well known for. Ryan Drost, 31 on the regular season, nets one here tonight.
It looks like Tyler Monroe was able to put Drost on his back, but Drost got up anyway and made the play.
Yeah, Drost did not have the best field position out of the two of them, but had the ups to make it happen.
Oh, a nice
deep throw looked off.
A nice deep cut there from Lamar. It was looked off.
The Empire now with a chance to break coming into the second quarter. A minute's run off the clock in this point, turning out to be a little longer, a grind. 87 now, Babbitt. And we hear a whistle. I think there's some contact on the mark. No, it's a pick downfield, and Babbitt's going to lose 10 yards. A pick, of course, as you may know from basketball, but in Ultimate Frisbee it is illegal to either set or intentionally even perform a pick. So a big theme in Ultimate is the ability to use your space effectively. Avoid those picks.
Nice defense there. A little bit of contact.
He's going to sit on the trainer's table and see if he can't re-enter this game.
Spiva came in for him. Looks like.
Spiva immediately finding Monroe. Big under, uncontested.
Duke gets some separation there, but Monroe chooses Kerrigan.
Kerrigan's back into Spiva's hands.
Spiva playing conservative. He's one of the DC Breeze shooters in addition to Helton.
Slips a little bit, maintains possession, finds Bolin Colchin past a laying out.
Contributor on the 2015 team, also playing this year. Still doing his push-ups alongside Kyle Johnson.
I see that. Kolek putting on the late mark, forces a dump. It's Kocher.
Oh, Kocher had an opportunity there to hit Norton on a deep look, but it was a bit too deep for Kocher's liking.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see who's willing to take these shots tonight and who's not, and Kocher generally hasn't been the one to make them.
Nice defensive pressure from Spiva there. Got the tip, but Kocher was able to make the play. Norton gets it on an under, puts it up pretty high to his teammate, number 7, Taylor Brooks.
Brooks now looking, chooses upfield.
He finds Muck.
Muck now, but intercepted by Cranston. Cranston with a block, hands it off to Kolek to navigate this point for the Breeze. It's a scuba over the top. McDonald now, back to Kolek, and around to Spiva.
The Breeze are controlling the pace now, being fairly patient here.
Jakoski getting some of his first touches of the game. Finds Cranston, threatening. Up line, McDonald, one more up line.
Oh.
And Kolek with a huge layout. Lots of contact in the air. Kolek brings it down. Head to head he goes. Just some good, strong eye contact between two booth mates.
A loose double team turns into a zone look here from the Breeze.
That's more the disruption that we see the Breeze using a lot this year, and it might have resulted in a stall on Kocher. Wow, he doesn't like it. He puts his head down, he heads off. He's going to need to play some defense to try to earn that back.
Colt's going to pick up for the Breeze here. There's an wide open look to the end zone. Jakoski gets it right outside, dishes it off to Brian Marshall. That's another Breeze.
So Loro handling the pool, centers to Keegan.
Matsuka was busting down the field to cover, it looks like a Loro. Nice defense there from number 5. That's Brad Scott getting in the game.
Wodach unable to harness that throw. It was a little high, a little bit floated maybe, a little bit more than intended, and Brad Scott capitalizes.
They look swing right away to Matsuka.
Matsuka and Spiva. Givesies and goesies in the backfield. Oh, but Matsuka doesn't quite step out enough to get that under the arm, and I think
John Wodach might have gotten a finger on that one.
Yeah, I think Wodach might have earned it back.
Oh, but Matsuka looking to put pressure on Kocher. Kocher, of course, being able to make the grab despite it.
So we see the mark switch up here a little bit as Matsuka starts marking on Kocher. But
Jakoski's able to step under that one for an easy defense.
A miscommunication, an errant throw, and Jakoski.
Looks like Coach Gesquier is going to call the timeout here.
We're going to see Kolek with the disc, drawing the markup of Sam Taylor. The first time those two have gone on each other tonight. Goose earns a big under right away for 10, 15 yards.
Oh, nice double move by Kerrigan. Forces
fakes to the end zone.
Oh!
And in the corner, not a lot of space to work with.
2 in this point.
Well, even if you want an out-of-bounds pool, it makes a lot more sense to put it near the goal line or maybe rolling out.
Yeah, to blade
versus straight out of bounds.
Oh, nice twinkle toes grab there from
number 10. That's Muck.
Keegan gets an upline and goes right across the field with an inside-out backhand.
Matsuka.
Matsuka not able to make the play despite some contact.
Yeah.
And that's a nice. Bear down. That's Bob Lou in the backfield. Neely not yet back in this game.
Wodach is being really forced under here tonight.
Kerrigan goes big with a backhand to Cantone, who makes the grab between 2 Empire defenders.
Cantone, though, with a great play there. Duke looks outside. Monroe now. Bob Lou.
Back to Monroe.
Here's Wodach being again forced under.
Nice.
Not the scoring threat he always is. Monroe looking.
Nice conservative.
Ops upfield for an inside break. Lou makes it look easy. Finds Schaffner.
Nice. We've got a USA dressed man in a faceless costume.
Here's Keegan. Stall getting high for sure. Finds his option in Kocher. Downfield to Muck. Muck shooting deep. Single zero. Wodach is up but cannot reel it in.
That's nice defensive spacing there from Brian Marshall. Was able to, or was that Andrew Allen?
I think that's 22. That's Brian Marshall.
That's Marshall. Yeah, he did a good job there of getting right under the defender, forcing Wodach to go up early.
Wodach went up early, but actually we're going to see a foul call. It looks like
call.
Brian Marshall might have had rights to that space, but it's going to turn into an easy score for the Empire.
Here, without too much trouble. And it looks like Wodach is going to strike deep immediately.
Here's Monroe stepping up into the center handler role. We've seen him handle a lot tonight, but maybe less so in the center of the field. Showing a little bit of a new look.
Empire players doing a little bit of switching for the deep cuts. As Wodach climbs the ladder for a nice catch on the scuba from Schaffner, or from...
Kerrigan gives it to Monroe on the far sideline. Monroe, a little dish upward to Kerrigan. A lot of contact there. It's going to give him an extra 10 yards, I think.
Kerrigan's still one of the players most often fouled on this DC Breeze team.
Gesturing wildly as he goes up. Time to stay level-headed, not have a throwaway be caused.
Kerrigan
Before finding Goose.
A lot of the stall count there.
Helton goes all the way around. Here's Cantone.
Lots of contact there from the mark.
From Lou, this point's gotten very physical, you're right.
Refs are letting the players play.
Helton takes the easy one to Monroe. Monroe with a great fake. Gets a face guarding defender, and Kerrigan now on the end zone line. Muck bumping and grinding. It's going to get him to center it. It's another foul.
Yeah, that was a nice double move from Kerrigan to get open horizontally near the end zone. Easy dish to Goose Helton.
Yeah.
About controlling the clock, but the Empire do want to score quickly to make sure that they have enough time to get back into this game.
Kocher goes upfield, find number 7. It's Brooks, goes over the top, near sideline, Aloro shooting.
Norton's got a defender on his back, but makes the play anyway.
Norton, the big man. Bob Lou handles the pool, and Spiva,
that's a nice
target.
Nice defense on that initial under from Helton.
Goose shooting right away once again. Here is Cantone threatening.
Cantone looking only reset right now. Gets it up to Wodach.
In and out of the hands. It looks like Wodach signals more for a strip or a foul call, and he gets it from the referee. I don't know if he quite had possession of that, but maybe the foul was in play.
Yeah. Wodach is going to get it centered here on the end zone line.
You don't see a lot of fight out of Ryan Drost there. Drost.
The same exact quite to get the distance that they want out of them. We don't have a double team here. Just a single mark. But it's still the Kolick on Kocher matchup.
Yep. Breeze have gone back to that after those series of timeouts that shook it up a little bit.
Pick call.
We're seeing a pick call downfield. The referees are going to intervene. They're going to push the Empire back on their own goal line. Empire down by 4, need to maybe consider the danger of a Callahan here. Of course, that's if the defense catches it. Doesn't need to go on offense. They catch it in the opposing end zone.
Deep
but
shot.
They don't. It's a deep shot immediately. It's Muck sprinting deep.
Duke chasing. Not quite in the end zone.
He makes some great ground. And
oh, my goodness.
Right. And that's much worse field position to be quartered that way on the far side of the field.
Kolick looks off Helton on the deep ball, but Helton gets open underneath as well.
Helton chooses an upline in-cut from Wodach. Jeff Wodach, of course, the Washington brother.
Nice step out break there from Wodach. the inside
And
backhand.
Kolek now. Quarterbacking, finds Helton. Oh! And that is something you don't see very often. 2 touches by Helton, cannot reel in the goal. And you can see him with a hand on his face, not happy with that.
Not quite able to make the play that that his teammate Kerrigan made earlier with the tip to himself.
Yeah. And that one might have been a little bit more run-of-the-mill.
I don't know. It was a pretty blady throw from Kolek. That was an extremely fast stall, I thought, from the referees. But the Breeze are going to regain possession here.
Yeah, that is quite shocking. Kolek again going to try now. He's cornered, but great field position in terms of threatening, right on the end zone line.
Schaffner is the primary look here, but they hit the reset.
Monroe is swinging it around. Bob Lou now. Back to Monroe. Lou going upfield, but coverage is good. Kolek will be the option. Here's Goose.
Coming out into the backfield. Goes back to Kolek.
Kolek now. Goose again. Just working for the weekend. And a catch. Puck. It lands on the 25-yard line. Kocher takes one. Muck. He's going to put it up. It's floaty.
There's only one player in the area. It's Kevin Norton. Kevin gets up.
Norton in and out of the hand.
Able to get the grab.
He doesn't like the contact he sees. He's going to appeal to the referee. Once again, the Breeze on defense as they started the game, and the Empire have a 4-point deficit to make up. Glenn, if you were in that New York huddle at halftime, what are some of your wise words? What do you think was discussed during that 12 minutes?
I don't think that it would necessarily be characterized as wisdom, but I think the standard thing you're looking for here from the Empire offense is patience. Like I said before, they've been able to set up open looks here. They're being patient right now, but just waiting for the open looks rather than trying to force tight windows, I think is going to be successful for them in the second half.
Yeah, I think they might have talked about offense. I mean, it's unfortunate to see the Breeze are going to get a chance to go up by 5 here. The Empire, though, are a team that really prides themselves on defense. So whether or not they can try to streamline some of the offense and convert some of these points, they really need some defensive effort. They need to get the turnovers, and they need to walk it into the end zone a couple times when the Breeze started with the disc.
I think you're right. Nice shot there.
Though, he's going to open up the scoring in the. And Keegan eats up 10 yards immediately. Looking upfield, he finds Muck.
Kocher's moved into the downfield space here, trying to get
They were
some
doing
things
that
going.
successfully in the early game, so it doesn't surprise me to see that.
Yeah, he's a little bit uncovered here for a moment. Kolek is finally coming in, but a pick was called, and Kocher's going to get the disc back, and he's going to move back 5 yards.
Looks like confusion though.
Looks like the Breeze are waving off the pick call using the integrity rule. Nice spirit there from the DC Breeze players.
Good eye. I believe that is what occurred.
Kolek is going to get himself a nice defense there. Marked up on Kocher, was able to get his hand up and intercept that pass.
Aloro switches off, now marking Kolek.
The give and go with Brian Marshall. Yeah, Aloro's going to center to Keegan. Muck, the speedster, is going to come out into the space on the break side. Keegan finds Aloro. Oh, and a reset turnover. Aloro looking for Keegan. Keegan taking an unexpected line.
Here's Marshall now. Picks up the disc, gets it over to Schaffner. Schaffner, big around, finds Marshall right back. Marshall with the score. It's just totally an offhand comment, but you're right. I mean, it's getting some validity.
Here, Lewis dropped back into the lane to stop that initial in-cut from John Wodach, forcing the quick reset.
12 lets it fly. Lamar, his intended target, Kocher.
Kocher wide open in the end zone. Easy grab. It's in a way that they would probably want.
All right, we see Lou and an offensive unit take over. Here's Schaffner and Lou. Over to Monroe. Wodach gets us under. Some nice footwork to keep it in bounds.
Wodach
shoots to Goose. Oh, and Goose just a little bit kind of awkward, held up on the ground there a little bit with his layout. Doesn't reel it in. Maybe bounces off the wrist. Unfortunate to see.
Helton looked like for a second he might have been holding his hamstring. Not getting up to full speed right here, covering the front of the stack. That's Babbitt.
Schaffner, some good work downfield, taking away the under, or at least shorting it for number 12. That's Lamar.
I'm a little surprised that Babbitt isn't trying to take advantage of Helton right here. At least to test out whether Helton is full speed.
It's a big round. Lamar again. Lamar, a little bit of an understated role in the second half. Maybe that's part of the plan here to get him more involved, cutting out of the stack.
Drost comes from across the front, gets that swing pass.
Drost cuts it across the center. 87 now. That's Babbitt. And a big fly out of Holmes into space, and a streaking Empire. See some offense out of the breeze here. It's Schaffner over to Monroe.
There's a second defender helping deep on Wodach's cut. They definitely know that he's the main target downfield for the Breeze right now.
They are really preoccupied on Wodach tonight, and it's kept him off the scoreboard, but they found new and unique ways to do so, the Breeze have.
Yeah, to get the goals with other players on this very deep roster from the Breeze.
And Monroe now finds power position, doesn't use it, goes upfield. It's Kerrigan with a man laying out in his back.
Great
Does
bid
good
over
to
the
stay in
shoulder
bounds.
there. That was a clean bid, very, very well executed there from number 14.
Schaffner now.
Alette, CJ Alette.
Schaffner, big one over the top. And Cantone, wow. Runs.
And John Wodach is going to collect. It's good pressure right away from the Breeze.
Here's Muck in the backfield. Duke trailing him, unable to stop the throw back upfield. Here's McDonald on the mark, of course.
And it looks like the Breeze have been able to get some of their other defenders in this game here. We see Agan coming back out, Howd, Matsuka getting a defensive point.
Yeah, with how many of these two matchups, or the matchups rather, between these two teams have gone to overtime, probably a smart move by Dutchie right now to give some of his horses just a little bit of a break in case something wild here happens to close us down.
Empire get pushed back on another pick call. Most of the picks tonight have been called against the Empire. They really want to clean up their spacing a little bit.
And another whistle blows.
It looks like the timeout from the Empire. They're going to...
All right, you see the Empire getting back to it, and they take a look right away downfield.
Nice defense from Brian Marshall on John Wodach.
Yeah, Wodach the intended target there.
Oh, but just out of reach for Brian Marshall.
It's too bad for Brian Marshall. That really earned that turnover to see it thrown away right away. Just a little bit out of his grasp.
Kosmoic's looking for a wide swing. Keegan gets up to grab it and goes right to the end zone. Nice shot with a defender on his back. That's number 7.
Taylor Brooks.
And I think the thrower in that situation has to just recognize great coverage from the defender, Marshall, and maybe look it off, find a new option. They got to figure out of a timeout. They have a second look.
It's Monroe and Lou and Schaffner working the backfield on this line, as we've seen throughout the night.
Schaffner with an uncorks a backhand.
Deep. It's Cantone. He's going to need to get up for it. He draws a lot of contact in the process. He's willing to play through it.
Yeah, refs aren't going to call that foul. Cantone was looking to create that contact to keep his defender.
Cantone had the first touch on it as well. Oh, but that might be called as Wodach doesn't take him out to lunch first.
Yeah, Mike Drost stopped short, and Wodach's momentum carried him into the player. Not intentional, I would say. Mike, of course, being the former Georgetown teammate of Kerrigan, as I was incorrectly stating before that it was Ryan. Tight window there from the Empire. Able to get it to the goal line, looking for an option over the top. They reset it back.
Yeah, quite a few DC grads in the mix, as you might expect on the DC roster. Empire will score. It goes to 21.
Looks like Kolick is coming in on offense now. He's been playing more defense tonight. He finds Helton on the sideline.
Wow, a big loopy cut by Helton. Seeks to engage his defender and does so just enough to open up that under, but unfortunately squandered as he throws it away immediately.
Yeah.
It's 88 percent pass completion for the year.
Markham on the back gets up, but is not able to make the play. Empire here with a scoring opportunity, gonna get a break, and they get it with a shot to Ryan.
And the Empire D-line hustles down the field, sets up some initial pressure. Little poachy stopping that initial pool play, the defense is. But Monroe still focused in the background. Markham here, Monroe. I mean, the clock in a little bit is starting to be the enemy. Maybe a little far out to start saying that, but the Breeze obviously very content to just work the disc.
Yeah, the enemy for the Empire, the clock potentially as this, oh, Schaffner looks off the wide open opportunity to Kerrigan for the safer choice to Helton, who finds Lou on the sideline. Kerrigan now gets the big under.
That's right, Kerrigan still nets 20 yards out of it. Now we're swinging again. Wodach, floaty out to space. Monroe.
Almost tried to make the second effort grab. Monroe there.
Yeah, Monroe with a hand on it, but just a floaty throw that 19 also gave some trouble with. Ben Ivers once again getting up, contesting possession.
It looked like Schaffner there was pointing to show Wodach that they're.
But Monroe earns it right back. I don't know. The referees might be involving themselves. No, they're pointing a spot. Monroe earns it right back. A run through D. Doesn't need to leave his feet, but really just bodies where he needs to be and gets the big one.
Nice inside-out break there from Schaffner, who found Wodach on the swing opportunity. Then Zach Cranston gets another inside-out break to get it back to Schaffner. Lou with a patient swing to Wodach. And a bid through Wodach earns a layout D. That's Jeff Babbitt making his presence felt.
Yeah, it was going to happen eventually. It wasn't a question of if, it was a question of when, is what I mentioned at halftime. And you see Jeff Babbitt exerting his influence over this game.
Cranston, a very physical player himself, seemed to think that there was a lot of contact there. Kocher goes deep to the end zone. That's a great forehand look to maintain possession. Gave another break up to the New York Empire, who are now within 2 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
A steely throw from Spiva, threads the needle to Kolick. Now we see Wodach with the disc, looks upfield, finds Helton. Helton, not a lot of men downfield. Wodach gets there, two-handed grab, fights through some contact. It's Matsuka now, looking with all of his creativity, finds Spiva. Spiva, Kolick, an easy one to Goose.
The Breeze to put defensive pressure on the Empire consistently with their pulls is gonna be one of the difference makers in this game.
Marshall now on a mark of number 4, Dixon.
No, and that's Matt Aletta.
It was Aletta actually.
Aletta, a late addition to the roster today, has been dealing with some injury problems. Kocher puts up a big backhand to Keegan. Keegan's got a defender on his back. It's Spiva. Spiva climbs the ladder and gets that block.
Who's got that disc?
That's Spiva. He made that play.
Wow, Spiva. Piece of plastic.
Thankfully, there are plenty on the sidelines provided by Discraft. They're going to go right away. Nicky Spiva putting up a big one to
and it fades out of bounds. McDonald doesn't even have a play on it.
Yeah, that's
that
tough.
adrenaline still pumping from the sky-scraping grab
yeah,
he achieved.
Long-time players might reference that as conservation of greatness. Now with about 35 seconds left. The Empire are being a little, the ref was being a little casual here, giving it back to the Empire. Across the field to Keegan. Big defensive attempt from Cranston. Cranston now playing tight to Keegan downfield. Keegan's going to be looking to get this disc for sure.
With some give and go in the background, in the backfield.
Oh, they stretch it deep. The back of the end zone. Can he make the grab? No! Wow. Great defensive play.
Taylor Brooks looking for Uletta. Lots of contact. Stumbling out of bounds is Uletta.
Hopefully he's able to find a more open option this time. He looks tight to McDonald, who finds Brad Scott, who's going to get hit with some contact. That's going to stop the clock with about 4 seconds left. Scott's going to move up into a position that maybe gets him a little bit of an easier look. He puts up a difficult look. And that's Uletta who puts the hammer up.
Time it's going to reach the end clock. Oh, and we try to get a little Mac line going, pushing that disc while it's still.
Bob Lou stepping into a role as a handler in the absence of Jonathan Neely, who's still on the sideline. and who may not be reappearing in this game, unfortunately. With
yeah,
his
it looks like that's the
arm
case.
Injury.
Haven't seen him re-enter.
Yeah, he was still holding his arm during halftime. Hope that he's able to recover, especially as the Breeze look to continue into the playoffs with a win here tonight. Kerrigan looking for a patient option, finds Monroe in the backfield. Monroe swings it over to Lou. Lou back to Monroe.
Just resetting that stall count. Here's Lou again, taking the up line. Back to Monroe. 5 completions for each of them. Oh,
bobble catch
in and out of the hands of Goose Helton. Another uncharacteristic drop from him. This one maybe a little heat on it, but still something Goose usually brings in. Big hammer over the top. Stops short. Kolick,
Schaffner almost
goes
got
up
the
and bats it directly down into the hands of a waiting number 15, Kevin Norton. Quite an unfortunate turn of events because Markham was the first one that got a hand on it. Blading it around, we see a New York attack led by Sam Taylor.
Looking for another hammer over the top.
Almost another hammer.
Chooses a blade instead. It's going to fall harmlessly to the turf. And the Breeze are going to get another chance here to score on offense.
Yeah, harmless it may be, it rearms the Breeze.
That's right, especially in the hands of a thrower like Markham, who's got a cannon of an arm.
Boom.
He finds an easy option, though, in Monroe up the sideline.
That's more characteristic out of Helton, taking the initiating look, 2 hands on the disc. Some give and go with Bob Lou.
Wodach is being relatively uncovered here. He fades into the backfield.
Yet another
still fairly
situation where
wide
Wodach
open.
is being really forced under. He's willing to take a pass in the backfield, help keep it moving. A perfectly capable thrower if the deep space is taken away from him.
Certainly. Also the assist leader for the Breeze coming into this game. He runs that backfield throw down easily. And the Empire sideline getting really loud now. Their fans and players with a Brooklyn cheer, encouraging their teammates to continue playing defense, but Markham goes deep with a flick to Wodach. Wodach has Drost on his back, able to make the catch left-handed, no problem for...
Well, I guess that really occupied the middle space of the third quarter if they're going to bring this within contention, but down by 4 again they are.
Keegan's going to work here. The initiating cut had 3 different cuts before he's still working. Covered by Spiva.
Muck looks upfield, finds Aloro.
Aloro looks deep, but Norton is way too far away from him for the throw to go up.
Aloro, the Kochner. Kochner now upfield, finds Wodach. Wodach the junior. And Wodach shoots from the hip.
Oh, AJ jumps a little early.
Taylor, number 15. Sorry. Breeze offensive line. It's Monroe catching the initial pull. Schaffner now looking upfield.
Kerrigan working well in space, was able to get his defender on his heels.
Kerrigan pumps once out and takes the in. And here comes McDonald. Another in cut for another 15 yards.
McDonald a little bit of a
fakes
trouble.
Around, goes up line to Monroe. A give and go now. Running together they are, earning yards both with the throw and the slowdown afterwards, the 3 steps you get or the amount of space you get to stop your momentum here in the game of Ultimate Frisbee.
That was great timing from Monroe to provide that late option for McDonald.
Here's Schaffner now, looking upfield. You know he wants to score. He looks to Duke.
A lot of attempts to catch that one from Boiling.
I saw there on the reception.
Yeah, Schaffner looking across the field right away.
Schaffner goes upfield, finds Kerrigan right on the end zone line. Kerrigan
to McDonald.
An easy put it in to McDonald.
Extra throws with a trusted friend definitely helps me.
So we see the Empire starting off, finding Wodach. Wodach moving up the opposing sideline.
To Kocher, who squeezes a flick. Oh, and that one's just a missed throw.
Yeah, that's execution error all over it.
Yeah, the Breeze are going to take their time setting up this offense. Spiva picking up to McDonald. Looking right away, though, to the end zone. Spiva puts it up.
McDonald gets up and grabs it. Wow, double teamed and everything.
She's going to collect, and that's a nice pull from McDonald. One of the few times where the Breeze have been able to break and then get a pull inbounds.
That's right. Here's Drost under. Ryan getting double teamed. He goes up line, finds Wodach. Wodach really starting to exert himself in this game. He goes deep. It's a Loro with a chance. No, it's batted all the way out of bounds. In and out of his hands.
Heard the footsteps of McDonald. Accelerated and tried to make a play on it. Didn't quite have an angle to make a play, but his presence alone was enough to create consternation for the receiver.
Yeah, he went up for it hard, so that's all the pressure it needed. Here's McDonald now operating out of his own end zone.
This could be dangerous to the Breeze. They would want to make sure they find an open look here to get it out.
Yeah, a lot of pressure forced really up against the back. It's Schaffner. Goes for a big around. Matsuka. Still working in this narrow 5 yards of the back of the end zone.
Nice
until
throw from
Marshall
Matsuka
clears the disc out front here. Matsuka takes a big look upfield, but it decides the better.
That was a nice bid from Keegan to try to get that block, but Matsuka pulled it right out of the air. Nice patient offense here from the Breeze.
Quarterbacking a little, McDonald is. Finds Marshall, 15 yards upfield. Here's Kolick now, working the unders, one after another. Perfect succession. And Matsuka back to the backfield. We're seeing the referees intervene, and a timeout is called.
Ultimate Frisbee, Columbia High School, and out of Maplewood, New Jersey. Still a strong program, strong youth program. He's got to throw the disc into the crowd toward the Empire contingent. They make the catch. Happy to invite some of the luminaries from the sport, longtime organizers and supporters. Here, Wodach finds Cantone, who's got some contact from the mark, but finds Schaffner. Schaffner to Lou, gives it back to Schaffner. The Breeze staying patient here, but it looks like Schaffner either had some contact.
Yeah, I think between the offense and the defense line, you'd say the Breeze have 6 or 7 kind of primary handlers. With Neely already on the sideline tonight, does not bode well to see Schaffner joining him here.
Yeah. Bob Lou's going to have the disc here. Spiva came in for Schaffner. Spiva, of course, one of the other primary handlers for the Breeze.
And hopefully they're just a little banged up, and it just dissolves after today. Ooh, great look there. Cantone threatening. Wow, very good mark by the Empire, though. Here's Helton.
Helton gets a great break throw. First looks inside, goes around to Wodach. Wodach with the lefty, man on his back. Tyler Monroe collects the catch for the goal. This pull falling inbounds, but close to the sideline. That's a nice one from the Breeze, deep and close to the sideline without going out.
Yeah, Loro working at the Kotcher. Upfield now, it's Muck.
Kolick was slow to get down on the pull there, maybe trying to create
Kotcher again.
Create some confusion downfield. Now is tight to Kotcher.
And Loro, the 3 of them, playing with Kevin Norton under.
Kotcher's going to strike deep.
And he gets it. It's coming. Kolick gets up, but Kotcher gets higher. Kotcher gets the snag. 4 minutes on the clock. Nets a goal for the Empire. Hands.
Yeah, that was the impressive thing about Kotcher's jump. He was able to track the disc and read it very well while he was in the air.
That's right.
While it was going past the leaping Alan Kolick.
But it might all be for naught. With under 4 minutes here, the Breeze still showing a 5-point lead.
A tip throw from Wodach gets caught by Cantone.
Yeah, lucked out a little bit, but that possession is big, and it's running seconds off the clock. Each moment, each throw, and a big fly goes off. Monroe's the intended recipient. He's all the way to the far sideline. He goes up, but it is ripped away from him. Monroe cannot make the catch. Instead, it falls with, I believe, Jeff Babbitt.
Oh, but another, looked like a defensive opportunity for Bob Lou. And Cantone's got a chance for a Callahan!
Wow, a lot of contact there. I don't know.
After the point was scored, that pushed the Empire back.
I think it might have been after the call. The Empire player became very heated in the exchange that Cantone may have fouled him.
Keegan uncorks a big backhand to a streaking Muck. The speedster, he makes it.
Oh, in stride, Muck.
But the Breeze here are going to look to play patient. We see Kolick coming back to the offensive unit. He's a patient handler, real reliable.
Takes a nice bladey look upfield to Goose. Gets it right back. Kolick now double teamed.
Spiva real deep in the backfield. But there's a turnover anyway on a low throw from Helton.
for slamming the door. It appears just a little open if the Empire can score quickly and get one or two more.
Yeah, this is the kind of quick defensive stand and scoring opportunity that the Empire need, but Cantone cleans it up.
Not a problem
Shutting
for
the door
Cantone.
continually is Chuck Cantone for the DC Breeze. Not letting the Empire
They call
back
him the
into this
butler. He's
matchup.
closing the door.
Oh my goodness. You know, quiet early in the game, but really playing well here in the fourth. Carey can create separation from Drost.
Matsuka winds up to go full field, but then turns it over. Finds the inverted pass to Wodach. It's Kolek now. Kolek to Wodach.
And this is going to be the DC Breeze slowing it down as the clock winds under 2 minutes. They really don't need to force it here. They don't need to press. They can let the game come to them. So we see Kolek in the backfield for an easy reset, finding Matsuka on a swing. Helt's jogging. Cantone is wide open on the far side, but Babbitt is really trying to make a play there. He almost was able to.
Keeping possession, taking it away, all in accord.
That's a
Chuck
foul.
Cantone.
That's a foul that I might have expected Cantone to wave off. There wasn't a lot of contact there. The ref's calling a tight game here at the end of the fourth.
From the start to the ticker tape, refs calling a close game.
Bob Lou looking off, Helton on the deep look, but hitting him on
There's
the
Helton.
under.
Yep, Helton. Back to Bob Lou. Possession maintained. Here's Matsuka, the three Chicago brethren.
Looks like
giving and going.
The Breeze are doing a good job of still making attacking cuts toward the end zone, even though the handlers are looking them off. It's important to maintain that kind of aggression with the cutters. Otherwise,
Kerrigan
you might not get
almost
the
with
open
travel,
underlooks.
keeps his toe down. Here's Wodach. Will he look to the end zone? No, more Kolek, more time runs off the clock, 38 seconds, and it is a turnover. It comes with some risk, all these short little passes. Will the Empire strike in 31 seconds? Maybe, but it's probably not enough to close 5.
As a double team from the Breeze here to make it just a little bit difficult for the thrower. That's Matt Lamar. Drost goes over the top.
Lady look over the top. They're taking their time now too, trying to go out looking good at least in this 2016 season.
Nice hammer. Patient offense here, as you said. Look across the field to Lamar, but he gets looked off. A scuba over the top. As the clock winds down to 0, the Breeze have won their first home playoff game.
In the history of the franchise, it's exciting to see. It's a 24-20 victory here.